everyone, and welcome to this explainer on mastering the complete care guide for the undeniably cute, but let's be honest, notoriously finicky string of turtles. Or if we're being official, Peperomia prostrata. If you've ever been totally captivated by these tiny architectural vines that look exactly like miniature turtles marching in a row, well, you are in the perfect place. Today, we're going to unlock the definitive blueprint for keeping them not just alive, but actually thriving. Okay, I absolutely love this quote. It has the soul of a succulent, but the heart of a fern, because it really hits the nail on the head. You see, treating this little gem strictly like a typical easy care desert succulent or a moisture-loving fern is exactly where 90% of people go wrong. It ends in total heartbreak. It's kind of a finicky diva that demands a very specific balance, and we are gonna master that balance right now. To take you from a confused plant parent to a confident turtle master, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start by meeting the turtles, break down the science of light, crack the watering code, perfect the environment, look at propagation methods, and finally, troubleshoot some common problems. All right, part 1, meet the turtles. Let's look at where this plant actually comes from, because knowing its origin story completely changes how we care for it day to day. So the really crucial thing to understand here is that this creeping vine is an epiphyte. Basically, it has this microscopic, incredibly shallow root system that's just meant to scuttle along damp rocks and tree bark right in the Brazilian rainforest. It was never actually designed to dig deep. And what does that mean for us? It means burying it in standard heavy potting soil is literally just going to drown it. This whole cactus versus fern comparison perfectly illustrates the tightrope walk of its care. It absolutely demands the dappled light and consistent warmth of a tropical canopy, but it hates, and I mean hates, setting in heavy, wet muck. Give it too much of a dry desert cactus environment and it just shrivels right up, but give it the soggy, heavy soil a fern might tolerate, it quickly rots away. Moving on to part 2, the science of light. Let's look at how light physically paints that famous tortoiseshell pattern onto the leaves. Now, pay close attention here because this rule solves the absolute biggest mistake people make. We like to call it the hanging plant curse. People love to hang this plant so high up that the trailing vines get plenty of sunlight, but the actual crown of the pot stays in complete darkness. Without light hitting the topsoil surface, the stems weaken, they wither, and eventually whole vines just snap and drop off. You've got to have top-down light. Have you ever wondered how it actually gets that amazing turtle shell pattern? It's fascinating. The translucent window cells on top of the leaves act exactly like tiny fiber optic cables, pulling dim forest light deep into the leaf. If you give it too much direct sun, those windows get totally bleached out and pale. But give it too little sun, and the plant is forced to fill those clear windows with solid green chlorophyll just to survive, completely erasing the pattern we all love. All right, part 3, the watering code. This is absolutely crucial because watering is the exact step where most of these beautiful plants meet their demise through root rot. Seriously, just throw away your watering schedules. Forget them. Instead, I want you to rely on this foolproof squeeze method called the taco test. Because these are jungle succulents, the leaves actually act as little water reservoirs. So gently pinch a mature leaf near the soil. If it's rock hard, do not water it. It's fully hydrated. But if it has a pliable give and bend slightly, kind of like a taco shell, the plant is physically telling you its internal reserves are running low. And you know, the taco test brilliantly shows us why bottom watering is vastly superior. If you water from the top, moisture gets trapped in that dense top mat of leaves, which leads straight to rot. But by sitting the pot in about 2 inches of room temperature water for 20 to 45 minutes, you hydrate those shallow roots from the bottom up without ever wetting the top foliage. It keeps rot totally at bay. Part 4, perfecting the environment. Now that we know exactly how to water them, let's properly formulate the jungle environment they're drinking from. Like we talked about, standard soil is way too heavy, and cactus soil is just too gritty. You need a specific DIY jungle epiphyte mix. We're talking 2 parts peat moss or cocoa coir, 1 part coarse perlite, and 1 part fine orchid bark. This mix is super airy, so it holds moisture but still allows tons of oxygen to reach the roots. Also, this is key. It should always go into a very shallow container, like an azalea pot. A deep pot just creates a stagnant, bacteria-breeding swamp down at the bottom where those tiny roots can't even reach. Because they originate in Brazil, these turtles absolutely thrive in high humidity, ideally somewhere between 50 and 80%. That actually makes them one of the best plants in the world for closed glass terrariums. They also really want consistent warmth, between 68 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. But be super careful here. You have to protect them from cold winter drafts. That is for sure the fastest way to make a string of turtles go completely bald. Up next, Part 5, Propagation Methods. Believe it or not, giving your plant a strategic haircut actually forces it to create a bushier crown. And it gives you the exact material you need to multiply it.
This is known as the butterfly method, and let me tell you, it is the absolute gold standard. By laying flat strands right onto damp moss inside a closed clear box, you're creating a 100% humidity environment. This triggers new roots to shoot out from every single node touching the moss in just a few weeks. It takes a simple single strand and turns it into a lush, thick mat that is fully ready to be potted.
Finally, Part 6, Troubleshooting Common Problems. Let's confront those inevitable moments of panic every single plant parent faces. Without a doubt, this is the #1 complaint. You wake up and tiny turtle shells are just scattered all over the table. But figuring out whether those dropped leaves are plump or shriveled will instantly tell you how to step in and save it. Let's round up the prime suspects here. If the dropped leaves are still plump and green, you are likely dealing with a cold shock from a draft or root rot from overwatering. Now, if the leaves are shriveled before they fall, your plant is severely thirsty. And hey, if your plant just arrived in the mail and it's shedding, that's just shipping shock. Don't panic, don't repot it, don't fuss with it. Simply leave it alone in a bright spot for 2 weeks so it can recover. Of course, we have to talk about the arch enemy of this plant, spider mites. They love hiding in those dense, textured vines, and because trying to physically wipe down hundreds of delicate little turtle shells would literally drive you insane, not to mention it would break the plant, a gentle, inverted dunk into a bucket of mild insecticidal soap is the safest, most thorough way to clear out any hiding pests. So there you have it, we've cracked the complete care guide. With the top-down lighting rule, the taco test, and our DIY jungle mix, you now possess the exact blueprint to transform this fascinating little diva into a stunning centerpiece in your home. The only question left is, are you ready to take everything you learned today and grow a thriving piece of the Brazilian rainforest right in your living room?